The 2017 Peachtree Corners Invitational broadcasts are brought to you by CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. Hawks Basketball Academy and Junior Hawks Camps, designed to give Atlanta youth the ultimate basketball experience. Stat Row, view youth sports highlights whenever, wherever. Rock River Realty, market cultivators, ingenious solutions. Jim Ellis Automotive Group, expect the best. And Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Wheeler, Horace, who you rolling with here?
I'm rolling with the home team. I'm rolling with Wheeler. I think Wheeler has enough to beat whoever's put in front of them. It's just a matter of them playing together as a unit on the floor. I think we're starting to see some of that with their successes in Ohio, and hopefully they could. That translates into a game today against a really good Greensboro Day team that is going to be well coached. They got very good players in J.P. Mormon and Will Dillard and others. So I look for a really good matchup, but I'm going with Wheeler on this one.
Jasmine.
For me, I'm going with Wheeler. I got Wheeler by 9. And Wheeler, it's important to mention, Wheeler finds a way to play to the level of their competition, which isn't always good, but in big games, they always show up. Like I said previously, Darius Perry is the key, moving the basketball, getting E.J. Montgomery involved, and then Coach going to his bench early because in Ohio, West Virginia, he got some great minutes from the kids on the bench. Chick-fil-A, he got some great minutes from the kids on the bench. So I expect Wheeler to continue what they've built on in the last 3 weeks, and I got Wheeler by 9.
Kyle Sandy.
I think Wheeler hunkers down, gets the job done. My key to the game is E.J. Montgomery. I think he plays well today. If he does play very well, I think Wheeler wins this one, and it's going to be a great win for them moving forward.
You know, I remember watching TV. I saw a commercial come on talking about creators and how at Wheeler they create creators. I think Jesse McMillan has created a great opportunity to come back home and show what that hard schedule on the road and all of those out-of-state wins can do for them, and I think they do that today. I'm taking Wheeler in this one over Greensboro Day, fellas.
Well, you know, we were right. Unfortunately for Miller Grove, I think we were 4-0.
4-0.
In that prediction, and hopefully for Wheeler that we'll come out 4-0 again, because I think it's going to be a really, really good matchup, and hopefully, Darius Perry really puts on a leadership hat and really turns things up for Wheeler.
So you see E.J. Montgomery there getting ready, and we're moments away from tip-off. We will step away. When we get back, Joel Hilsman will be on the call, and he'll be joined by DJ McDuffie, former Greensboro Day player there on the second half. So signing off, the SUVtv Game Day crew. We'll catch you back here for halftime thoughts. Don't go anywhere. We'll have tip-off here in seconds on SUVtv live from the Peachtree Corners Invitational.
Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.
Welcome you inside of the House of Blue here and the Game Day crew. They all went with Wheeler. Joel Hilsman here, glad that you are with us. It'll be Greensboro Day. They are in the black, Wheeler in the white. The discussion going on the court is in reference to Wheeler's roster. If you watch SUVtv, you've seen that Wheeler has switched up the jersey numbers from time to time. And Wheeler, with their mix-up with the jersey numbers, has been issued a technical foul. I know about it because I've covered Wheeler here this season, and Wheeler with Darius Perry going with 31, And Austin Johnson going with 3. J.P. Morgan at the free throw line connects, and that's how it'll get started. So a technical foul already in the books for Wheeler, and it will go over to Greensboro Day. The Greensboro Day Bengals and the Wheeler Wildcats. Wheeler coming in at 14-4. Greensboro Day coming in at 23-3. The head coach of Greensboro Day is Freddie Johnson. He is in his 40th season. Can you believe it? Greensboro Day in operation now, and their starters will be Will Dillard, number 1, a 6'2 junior. They will go with number 2, Solomon Smith, a 6'1 a senior, John Newman, number 3, a 6'5 junior. And number 4, J.P. Morgan, a 6'5 senior. And then Jordan Perkins, a 5'11 senior. So here's the pop off the top. There's the jumper by Newman. It is good. Along to John Newman is in the book. That's the first field goal, and it's 4-0. 30 seconds gone by. Perry walks it across the timeline. He's got the right hand dribbling now. He hands it off now. We'll go through the Wheeler lineup quickly for you. To be Jordan Usher, Kenny Anihi, E.J. Montgomery, and Darius Perry along with Jordan Tucker. A turnover. Greensboro Day coming back this way quickly. There's Smith. Smith popped to the top to Mormon. The 3, hill of the rim, no good. Rebound, battled for, and Greensboro Day is going to come away with it. Newman got the board. He kicks it, and they swing it all the way around. Perkins, stuff fake, steps on the line. There's the left-handed jumper in the air, no good. Rebound. Tried to be rebounded out of the guard spot. Out of bounds off of John Newman. It'll go over to the Wheeler Wildcats. Greensboro Day, a defensive team. They only allow 43.4 points per game. They put the ball in the hoop at an average of 68.1 points per game. Wheeler on the flip side, 72.6 points per game, and they are 15-4 on the season and are allowing 55.6. And you heard the game day crew talking about the tough schedule. They went and represented well in West Virginia, and they went and represented well in Ohio at flying at the hoop. And a 3-ball by Darius Perry, the first field goal for the Wheeler Wildcats. Greensboro Day, they got them a big win over Providence Day. They win championships, and if they don't win them, they're going to play right there for them. 8 championship state final victories, 8 state championship final runner-ups. And they are in the NCIS AA Piedmont Conference. That's 3A. Only 22 teams in that particular 3A classification. Freddie Johnson, I mentioned, the head coach, 981 wins to 282 losses. That's the overall record. And he was inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame last summer, the summer of 2016. 4-3, 2 minutes gone by. Perry now swings it over to Montgomery. Montgomery, a corner 3. It's off, no good. Rebound going to come down to J.P. Mormon. Mormon into the forecourt quickly, and he hands it off to Newman. Newman puts it on the floor to the right of the wing, picks it over to Perkins. They go down to Smith. Smith, baseline jumper, fake up, and could not get the roll. They battle for it, and Montgomery rips down the rebound. He will outlet it now, and here comes Darius Perry. Perry into the forecourt, quickly goes behind the back now to Anini, swings it over, and there's Tucker. Tucker's going to go baseline, stop, and a blocking foul. Foul call. First foul of the game. It'll be on John Newman, his first, and the team's first. Substitution now. They will send in Michael Flower. Michael Flower, a 6'8 sophomore for Greensboro Day and the Bengals. The 10th annual Peachtree Corners Invitational. Glad that you're with us. Game number 2 of 5 here on SUVtv. Usher looking. Baseline out of bounds. Still looking. Almost a 5 count. Got it into Montgomery, who spins it all the way back out high to Darius Perry. 5.5 to go. 4-3. And the game began with a technical foul on Wheeler. Corner, 3, Tucker, long, no good. Rebounds on the floor. They chase for it, a kickball, and it will stay with Wheeler. Wheeler in the white tops, white bottoms, blue numbers, and a little gold trimmed Adidas threads. Greensboro Day, all in black, black tops, black bottoms, green trim, green coloring down the sides, white trim, white numbers, and then an outline in green, the Nike threads. Montgomery gives it to Tucker. Tucker puts it on the floor. Stop, going to lean in, and a traveling violation call. A turnover now. First one of the day on Wheeler. Game had a hectic start before we even got it started. And Wheeler, as I mentioned, they were assessed a technical foul, and it simply was because of the book and the numbers. When they wear certain uniforms, Perry wears 31. When they wear other uniforms, he's number 3, but on the roster he's listed as 3. Austin Johnson is listed as 13. Johnson has on 3. Perry has on 31. And because of Wheeler not having their book prepared, they were trying to rush so they wouldn't have to extend the start of the game, and then that led to the administrative technical foul on the Wheeler Wildcats, who are head coached by Doug Lipscomb. You want to talk about longevity? I talked about Coach Johnson being at Greensboro Day for 40 years. This is the 26th season for Coach Doug Lipscomb, and he has 6 state titles in the state of Georgia, going up against Freddie Johnson's 8 in the state of North Carolina. Perry between the rings, and now going to hand it off to Montgomery. Montgomery holding at the high post, put it on the floor, gives it back to Perry. Perry now looks over for Anini. Anini going to drive into the lane. He lost his footing. Shot was deflected, and now here comes Newman back in transition for the Greensboro Day Bengals. Perkins in the corner. Stop. There's a long three. Dillard, hill of the rim. No. Bounce for the rebound. Fight. And now here comes Montgomery. Montgomery skips it up ahead and is going to be knocked out of bounds. Good hustle on the play. Knocked out of bounds by Jordan Perkins, the 5'11 senior. Off the bench now. Here comes the sharpshooter in Pierce Landry. Man, can he shoot the basketball. Finished with 15 points the other night. All of them via the long ball. Pierce Landry, 6'2", and a senior. Shooting is in his blood. They had 5 threes in their last game in a rout over Durham Academy earlier this week. Here's Perry. Perry going to stop, looks on a bounce cut, and it's a turnover. Coming away with it now, here's Mormon. Mormon on the break, got numbers. Stop, foul line jumper to the left. It's off, no good. Rebound ripped down by Montgomery. Montgomery taking the game to Auburn. And he's going to show the ball handling skills in the open floor. Here's Tucker. Tucker going to drive, skip all the way. Layup is no good. Rebound ripped down by Will Dillard. Dillard will outlet it to Mormon, who gets it up ahead quickly. There's an easy dunk. In transition, John Newman keeping his head up and making the plays happen. And Greensboro Day out to a 6-3 lead. Offensive foul coming up on E.J. Montgomery. Went flailing that right arm out. His first, team's first.
Wheeler fouls on number 23, E.J. Montgomery.
3:47 to go. Multiple substitutions now. Smith will check back in. Greensboro Day now will go with Newman, Smith, Pierce, Mormon, and Perkins. Perkins being worked on in the backcourt by Jordan Usher. He crosses the timeline with the right-hand dribble. Landry trapped in the corner, and a whistle and a foul, and I think that's going to be on Darius Perry. It will be. Perry picks up his first, team second.
Wheeler foul on number 31, Darius Perry.
The resumes for both squads are impressive. Top to bottom, you can line them up how you want. They've played elite level basketball, and by that I mean they played a national schedule. Here's Perkins. Perkins now knocked Usher down, no call. Dumped it off in the middle of the turnover. Recovered by Isaac Martin, who has checked into the ball game, number 30 in white. Long three, Montgomery, air ball, rebound, tipped around. Newman tried to save it. His foot was out of bounds on the baseline. It'll go over to the Wheeler Wildcats. Wheeler in white, Greensboro Day in black. The Bengals and the Wildcats. It's a cat fight, I guess. Will Dillard will check back in. The 6'2 junior, known as for his defensive presence. Inbound now to Usher. Usher will kick it back out to Perry, and now Perry will set it up. Jab stepping and driving is Tucker. Tucker put it up with the right hand. No. Put back dunk. No by Montgomery. He got the rebound again. No. Rebound comes back to Tucker. Tucker dipped inside. Got the ball knocked away. Smith with the steal. Now here comes Dillard. Dillard across the timeline. He's got Landry. Landry wanted to catch and shoot. He slid. Now they kick it back to the top. Perkins. Top side. Three. It's good. Bottom of the net. Jordan Perkins.
John Newman.
Check it. That is Newman, not Perkins. Excuse me. Newman with the 3 ball, so he's having himself a pretty good first quarter. 9-3. Here is Perry, kicks it out. There's a long 3. Martin rattled in, no good. Rebound ripped down out of the guard spot, and that's Dillard. Long up ahead pass. Stop. Pump fake got him in there. Smith off the window. No. Smacked the backboard, kept it moving. That could have affected the shot. Perry back this way. Doesn't have numbers, but Perry going to take it all the way. Flip it up with the left hand. It came off. Solomon Smith gets the board, and he'll outlet it now. And here comes Dillard back for the Bengals. He crosses the timeline after some hesitation. There's Landry. Landry in that short corner. Jordan Tucker closed out on him. Cross court to Newman. Newman going to hesitate, go down the baseline. They took it away, out of bounds, off of Newman. It'll go over to the Wheeler Wildcats. Checking in now will be Jair Eastman. Eastman, a young sophomore, checking in and getting the minutes, and they've steadily been increasing. Anini will check in as well, and Jordan Tucker will take a seat. And Anini, taking the game to Stinson, will bring it up. Stetson Collins getting a good one in the lefty. Hands it over to Usher. Usher now swings it to Eastman. Eastman puts it on the floor, now bounces it over to Usher. Usher stops, short corner jumper, floated up, it's long. Rebound snatched out of the air by Solomon Smith. Smith to Landry. Landry now will give it up ahead, and here's Perkins. Perkins between the legs. Landry, catch, fire, shoot, a three. Good. I warned you. He can shoot that long ball and bottom that one out, Pierce Landry. 12-3. And Coach Doug Lipscomb asks for a timeout. He has to have one. The Wheeler Wildcats trailing by 9, Greensboro Day. 12-3, 132. It's a 30-second timeout.
Proud sponsor of the 2017 Peachtree Corners Invitational. The Piedmont Bank is proud to support the communities of the greater Atlanta area.
Powered by AssistantBasketballCoach.com.
Eastman now between the rings, left-hand dribble, skips it over to Anihi. Anihi going to pull a long three. He was bothered, and then the foul was not called. Here comes Greensboro Day back this way, dumped it off in the middle, and now let's see, a violation or offensive foul. Yes, offensive foul call, and that will be on Jordan Perkins, his first, team second. J.P. Morgan, the 6'5 senior, will check back in. Morgan going to Temple. And I was talking to Coach Johnson earlier. I said, I like how you list him as the point forward. So you will see a lot of that from J.P. Morgan as this game goes on. Also on the floor is Michael Fowler. Eastman down to Kenny Anini. Anini turns, puts it up with the right hand. He's a lefty, no good. Rebound, battled for, out of bounds. Will Dillard down there really battling down low. Listed as a guard, and as I mentioned, very defensive-minded. So he shows a lot of that hard hat, lunch pail, hustle mentality on the defensive end, even when it goes to crashing the boards. There's Perry. Perry holding now as we come up on 1 minute. 1 minute to go. Wheeler has gone through long stretches this season where they haven't scored. Perry, a long jumper. It's no good. Rebound ripped down by Fowler. Fowler outletting it. Here comes Mormon. Mormon going to go all the way. Put it up with the right hand. No. Offensive foul called on J.P. Morgan, his first, team's third. Darius Perry, the only three ball. He has those 3 points and the only field goal so far for Wheeler, and we are at 40 seconds to go, first quarter. McEachern earlier this year held Wheeler scoreless almost 5 minutes, the entire last 5 minutes of the second quarter in McEachern's final of a breakout game that you saw right here on SUVtv as part of the Tournament of Champions. So they are now through another long dry stretch and cold shooting from the field. Perry, the only made bucket, it was a three. 12-3 inbound to Eastman. 30 seconds. Eastman going to drive. He had it knocked away. A steal. Another turnover for Wheeler in transition. Perkins layup on the right side with the left hand good. Jordan Perkins, his first field goal. They push the lead out to 11 now. Greensboro Day. The Bengals now, and the coaching staff really trying to come up and applaud them. Coach Johnson, he and I had a wonderful conversation. He went to North Carolina A&T. That's where he picked up his master's. And there's a steal. Perry tried to cross him over. Going to come away with it, and now Darius Perry is going to get the foul. That's going to be his second, team's fourth. Darius Perry has been in foul trouble sometimes this season, and it has been early, and Perry didn't like it. He's having a conversation with the referee. Darius Perry, the senior, going to Louisville. But right now, they're in a world of trouble. 2 and 3, 10 seconds, and now Austin Johnson will check into the game for the first time. Jair Eastman will take a seat. The Bengals with 2 and 3, 10 seconds, and an 11-point lead. Looking long lob, and it's going to be out of bounds, and it will go over to Norcross. Will Dillard will check in. Pierce Landry will check out. Coach Johnson not afraid to use that talent that he's brought from Greensboro, North Carolina. And now another substitution. And that will be Michael Fowler, and now the ref has just warned Coach Lipscomb, Coach Lipscomb already off to a poor start with the refs getting the administrative tech. So Perry catches the inbound, a long three, and we are at the end of the first quarter, a first quarter that has been dominated by Greensboro Day. 14-3, they lead. Pause for these words right here. This is the SUVtv.com.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
Bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Hey, it's Danny Jackson, and guys, I was able to catch up with the head coach of Greensboro Day prior to this game, coach, and he was talking about his team. He said that they are playing decent at this point in the season, but they have some things they need to work on heading into the postseason, and those things are especially turnovers and defensive rebounds. He said his team need to do a better job of handling the ball, especially in the open court, and he said he likes to play in these type of tournaments because it allows his team to see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and it also allows them to see how they stack up against other national tournament. And he spoke well of his four seniors. He said that this team rallies behind J.P. Moorman, but his point guard, Jordan Perkins, is also playing very well, and he said that Pierce Landry has been knocking down big threes for this team all season. So look forward to see how they do in the rest of this game. Thank you. Sending it back to you.
All right, thank you, Danielle. E.J. Montgomery with the shot, no good. He got the rebound underneath, and we saw what they were able to do in the open floor, the Greensboro Bengals. You talked about how he likes to play in national showcases like this. Here's the list of their losses. Hamilton Heights Christian out of Chattanooga, Charlotte Christian, Newman Gordy at Hoop Hall. Those are their three losses, and they lost to Hamilton Heights in the Chick-fil-A Classic. And they've got a big one when they get back to their home state against their region opponent in Wesleyan Christian, who's currently ranked number one above them. 28-5 last year was Greensboro Day. Greensboro Day and a traveling violation, a turnover there by John Newman. 14-3. Wheeler's been stuck on three a good month now. They went the last 6 minutes almost of the first quarter without scoring. They have gone through stretches like that this season. Martin has it, and Martin over to Anini. Martin, Anini, Montgomery, Tucker, and Usher, the five on the floor for the Wheeler Wildcats. It is Landry, Smith, Dillard, Moorman, and Perkins, the five on the floor for the Bengals. There's a jump, no good. Rebound, put back up, in, count it, and the foul. The hoop and the harm. E.J. Montgomery, his first field goal, and Wheeler desperately needed it. He got the offensive rebound off the Jordan Usher miss, and he'll go to the free throw line. Foul called on Moorman. That's his second, and the team's fifth. And now here comes Will Dillard. Taking a seat will be Perkins. Moorman going to be allowed to play through the foul trouble. The southpaw lefty and E.J. Montgomery going to Auburn. The free throw is good. So he completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way and ends that run for Greensboro Day and gets Wheeler off the snide. A Darius Perry three in the first quarter, and that was, lo and behold, lowest scoring quarter of the season for the Wheeler Wildcats. Landry gets it up ahead. Now he hands it over to Newman. Back to Landry. Landry is really looking to shoot. There's a three from the top by Smith. No good. Rebound underneath. Big Fowler gets it, and now he lost it. Here comes Anini in transition. Doesn't have numbers. Going to go all the way. Put it up with the left hand. Good in transition. Kenny Anini. And a timeout call now by Freddie Johnson. He's going to call a 30-second timeout. And now a quick little 5-0 start here for Wheeler in this second quarter after trailing or after going through a very cold slump, almost 5.5 minutes without a bucket, 6 if you count the second quarter or the first minute of the second quarter. 6:43 to go. I talked about Coach Freddie Johnson in his 40th season and how he was inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame in 2016. He is also the North Carolina all-time record holder for North Carolina in victories, high school basketball victories. 8 North Carolina Independent State Athletic Association state championships, 8 of them. And in 2015, they were the state champs, and they played in that big thing everybody likes to play up in New York at the end of the year, the Dix Invitational. 14-8, 5-0 start to the quarter for the Wheeler Wildcats. Here's Dillard. Dillard now looking at that 2-2-1 press. Long pass across to Newman. Newman now going to go, stop, kick it back to Landry. Landry pump fake on the corner, now swings it over. Looks like Wheeler's kind of gotten a memo on Landry. Turning, shooting, Michael, no good. Rebound off, and here comes E.J. Montgomery. Montgomery gives it over now to Jordan Tucker. Tucker with the right-hand dribble. Here's Ananye. Ananye going to drive. That's Kenny Ananye. Back out to Montgomery. Montgomery stop. Left-hand elbow jumper. It is no good. Rebound skied for him. Brought down again. And look who it is. Number 1 in black, Will Dillard. Dillard hitting the boards effectively. Bounces it in a kickball as Usher tried to come in and kick it. You can tell now Wheeler trying to get out and force and try and get out and run. And that's usually how they get everything going, especially with Jordan Usher, number 4 in white, who's going to Southern Cal. He really likes to get out and run and then start dunking. And once he starts running out and dunking, that kind of gets Wheeler going. Greensboro Day preventing that at the moment. Perkins, baseline out of bounds. The trigger man looks, and he bounces it over to Dillard. Dillard spins it back up to the top between the rings is Newman. Back over to Perkins. A 3. It went in, and now we had a foul underneath. Let's see. Foul is going to be on Jordan Usher. His first, team's 5th. Both teams now with 5 fouls in this first half. Perkins again, baseline out of bounds will be the trigger. Looks, being worked on by Usher, bounces it in. Up, Michael, shot no good. Fowler couldn't get it to go. Rebound, skated out to Wheeler, and they'll take it away. Here comes Tucker. Tucker skips it up ahead. Pass was stolen. Wasn't paying attention. They got numbers. Newman going to go all the way. Left-hand layup. Good. A still open transition. John Newman with the field goal. A little more than 2 minutes gone by. We come up on 5:45 to go. Greensboro Day has Wheeler doubled up 16-8. I really like what Greensboro Day is showing me right now in my own eyes. Kick it back out long. 3, right wing. Tucker, good. They needed it. Jordan Tucker, his first field goal. Going across the timeline now is Perkins. Perkins with a pass. It's going to be a turnover. So Greensboro Day all of a sudden getting a little sloppy. I look down at Coach Johnson as we are up in the perch, and he says settle down. He goes to his bench and goes and gets number 5, Pierce Landry. And Landry will come in, and Perkins will take a seat. 5:25 to go. Inbound now, and here comes Darius Perry, who is back into the contest for the Wheeler Wildcats. Perry between the rings across the Norcross Blue Devil logo. Now he stands back on it. Looking to set up the offensive set. And now he sends Usher away from right to left on that baseline. Now Usher's going to come back. They pop it, little flex action here at the top. And now here's Perry. Perry goes around the screen, and there's a screen roll action. Couldn't get the fall was Montgomery. Rebound ripped down by Fowler. Fowler up ahead. Here's Will Dillard. We're under 5 minutes, and it's 16-11. Greensboro Day with the lead. They will slow it down. They will play defensive, as I mentioned, and keep you under 44 points. They're only allowing 43 a game on average. Dillard's shot is no good. Usher cleans up the glass, and now here comes Perry. Perry, fancy behind the back, Ananye. Ananye now going to work on Landry. Now going to drive, try to scoop it with the right hand, and got the roll. Good. He scooped it up and in, and it rattled on down. So Wheeler now has pushed this thing and cut the lead down to 3. 10 points in this second quarter, which almost seems like a minor miracle after only putting up 3 in the first quarter. Fowler has it between the rings, worked on by Montgomery, so he's going to put it on the floor and show his handles and drive. Give me that shot. Get that shot out of here. E.J. Montgomery pinned it up on the glass, and here comes Wheeler. Skip ahead, Usher, left wing, a 3 ball. It's no good, hill of the rim. Montgomery rebound, no. They're going to call it with an offensive foul. That'll be his second and the team's 6th. Montgomery had the good. Austin Johnson back into the contest. Isaac Martin also will come back into the contest.
Jordan Perkins checking in for Wheeler. Number 30, Isaac Martin, and number 3.
Halfway gone by here as we go under 4 minutes, second quarter, 3-point ball game. The Bengals in possession. Swinging around, and now here is Landry. Pop, top, a three. Hill of the rim, no good. He's human. Austin Johnson pulled down the rebound. Ananye into the full court, right-hand dribble. He's a lefty. Now going to get the screen from Johnson. Good show defensively from the Bengals. Usher swings it over to Ananye in the corner. There's a long three. Martin, air ball, no good. Missed everything. Out of bounds off of J.P. Mormon, and it will stay with Greensboro Day. Jordan Usher will go out. Jordan Tucker will come in. Will Dillard will come in for Greensboro Day. Pierce Landry will take a seat. So now we talked about and have highlighted Wheeler struggling. Now all of a sudden it is Greensboro Day who has gone a month without a field goal. Only 2 points in this quarter, and that was in transition by Newman, who's in transition again. Gets it up to Dillard. Dillard all the way, layup good. So they've got 2 transition field goals in this second quarter. And they have a 5-point lead again, 18-13. Perry will walk it across the timeline as we come up on 3 minutes. Gets the screen out high from Johnson. Spins it over. Ananye pulls a three. Good. The lefty. 18-16, and now a foul will be called, and that'll be on Isaac Martin. Martin didn't like it, his first. It'll be 1-and-1 time now for Greensboro Day. Coach Freddie Johnson going to that bench and using everybody. Multiple substitutions now. Solomon Smith, the 6'4" senior, will go out, and Michael Fowler, the 6'8" sophomore, will come in. And that's 6'6" on Solomon Smith, excuse me. First free throw good from John Newman. Second free throw coming up for the southpaw. He sticks it in good. Well, Newman makes both free throws, push the lead back out to 4 with 2:45 and counting. As Perry brings it across the timeline between the rings, he hands it out to Johnson. Johnson now going to spin from the high post, put it on the floor momentarily, and gave it back to Perry. De'Ananye kick it, open, a long two. It's not going to roll. They fight for the rebound. Dillard again comes away with it. Here's Mormon. Mormon lost it in transition, slowed the break just a little bit over on the left to the top to Dillard, who spins it to Newman. Newman now closed out on by. There's a jump inside the arc. Good. The lefty in Jordan Perkins. And that's another point that Greensboro Day has. The Bengals, they got a lineup of lefties. You see Newman doing work with the left hand, and now we've got a foul. It's going to be an offensive foul on Darius Perry, his third. So Perry now going to pick up his third foul. And Jordan Usher will come in. Coach Lipscomb just looked down at the bench, upset about that. Perry has been known to get in early foul trouble in bigger contests. Didn't agree with that one. 22-16, Greensboro Day has been in front all day. Fowler picked up the dribble, nobody around him, he self-checked. So now here's Newman. Newman going to drive to the right, kick it over. Pump fake Perkins on the line. Now he's going to come baseline and spin it back all the way back and peel it back to the top on the right wing. Cut to Newman. Newman pump fake, now it's not there. Taking it away now. Everything is Wheeler defensively at the moment. Perkins carry. A palming violation and a turnover for the Greensboro Day Bengals. Greensboro Day coming in ranked number 2 in the high school extra top 10. They were previously ranked earlier in the season on Max Prep top 25, but currently are not. 4 games since the setback loss to Newman Gordy at Hoop Hall. Rebound is going to come off now on the no-good shot. Here is Newman across the timeline. Newman to Dillard. Dillard put it on the floor out of the corner, kicks it up to the top. Perkins, a three. Hill of the rim, no. High rebound, ripped down by Smith. Back over to Newman. Newman put it on the floor. They spin it all the way back this way. Here's Dillard. Dillard now gives it open. Newman was open, hesitated, shot it up, no good. He didn't realize how open he was. Usher gets the rebound as we are under a minute to go, second quarter. A second quarter that has seen Wheeler come a little bit more to life, putting up 13. Austin Johnson's rebound is going to be corralled by Michael Fowler. Fowler will give it to Perkins, and Coach Freddie Johnson says, no, we're going to take 30 seconds. No shot clock in the Peachtree Corners Invitational. I got a feeling, though, that's going to change in coming years. I just have just gut feeling, no information on that, but just gut feeling. 14 seconds now, and here's Newman. Greensboro Day has led from the beginning. Gonna drive, kick it to the corner. Fowler, shoulder range, big fella. No. Rebound off to Tucker. Tucker with 1 second. Tucker a half-court heave. No. Glanced off and Karam off the left side of the rim. We are at the end of the first half. It is Greensboro Day 22 and Wheeler 16. Let's throw it out to the On the Hardware crew at halftime.
Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.
The 2017 Peachtree Corners Invitational broadcast are brought to you by CBA Sports, your sports construction specialist. Hawks Basketball Academy and Junior Hawks Camps, designed to give Atlanta youth the ultimate basketball experience. Stat Row, view youth sports highlights whenever, wherever. Rock River Realty, market cultivators, ingenious solutions. Jim Ellis Automotive Group, expect the best. And Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
I was born and raised here in Georgia, attended Morehouse College, and then law school in New York City. But I returned here because this is home. Today, my life's work is joining my partners as we seek justice for those who need it most. Those injured in accidents or hurt on the job, victims of medical malpractice, and some fighting for disability benefits. And remember this, I'm not just a lawyer, I'm your lawyer. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. My family and I have lived in Georgia our whole life. My dad's a judge here. This is home. I'm also a Morehouse man. I became a partner at Morgan & Morgan because they stand for the principles I so strongly believe in: respect, fairness, and justice. I devote much of my time to giving back to the community that has given so much to me. If we can ever help you at your hour of need, don't hesitate to call or visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
My name is Kurt Swilley with Rock River Realty, and I'm part of Team Swilley with Ann Fortenberry and Justin White, and we're Team Swilley at Rock River Realty. Our team is unique because we always put the customer first. We're never missing opportunities to see a house right when they come on the market, where if you're working just with an individual agent, you might miss that opportunity.
How I met my agent was really by happenstance. I didn't have an agent at all, and I was out on Zillow and on Trulia looking for properties. What Kurt had done was actually go and look at what I had been looking at on Zillow and on Trulia and started selecting properties of that type. That really set him apart from the other agents.
I got into real estate because I love people and I love houses, and being an agent helps me combine both those passions.
One of the things here at Rock River Realty is that's kind of what our culture is about, is helping others. We want to make sure that we're there all the time in every step of the process, giving them exactly what they need and helping answer any questions that they may have.
Our overall experience, it was fantastic. They took care of all the small details during closings as well as when we bought our new house.
We're Team Swilley at Rock River Realty. Give us a call today and we will be at your home.
Joining us, I'm Marcus Burnett. It is a 22-16 ball game. Greensboro Day beating Wheeler right now in this game with national ranking implication. Horace, your first half thoughts?
Well, what you see is a team in Greensboro Day that came in here well prepared to try to win this game. They're doing a great job on the defensive glass. They're limiting, Wheeler to one shot most times down the floor, and they're being really patient on offense. I think they've done a really good job moving the ball around. One of the guys we didn't talk about, John Newman, has played really well early, and I think J.P. Mormon is, when you have one of your bigger kids on the floor that can do some stuff with the ball. I love the way he kicks the ball up the floor, the streakers down the court for layups, and I think he's done a really good job. Wheeler, on the other hand, Kenny Allende's pretty much been the show for them. I think the two J's, Jordan Usher and Jordan Tucker, we need to see more out of them in order for Wheeler to turn this thing around in the second half. And they got to minimize turnovers. They had some bad turnovers, unforced turnovers in the first half, and I think they got to get better at that.
Kyle, how'd you see it through your lens there in the first half?
Yeah, John Newman was great. Left-hander for Greensboro Day, helped them get up to a 14-3 lead at the end of one. Wheeler really letting me down. Only 3 points when you got 5 Division I players on the court at one time. 5 points in one, or only 3 points in one quarter. That's tough to really believe when you got that much talent out there. Credit Greensboro Day playing great defense. I need to see more from E.J. Montgomery. Very bad body language, I thought. Sulking a lot of pouting. He's way too good for that. Hit the boards pretty well. Had 6 rebounds. Kenny Ayenye going to Stetson. You mentioned him. He has 7 points. But back to Newman over at Greensboro Day. Good length to him, gets to the basket. He's got 11 points, a game high right now. So I need to see more from Wheeler. Yes, you mentioned the Jordans. I got to see more from Jordan Usher. Jordan Tucker, very quiet. If Tucker gets going with that three-point shot, Wheeler's going to be okay. If not, it's going to be tough to get some baskets. But yes, and then Darius Perry picking up his third foul at about the 2:03 mark of the second quarter. That's something to keep an eye on moving forward as well.
Yeah, we talked about the out-of-state schedule for Wheeler. Had a chance to broadcast them there at the Flying to the Hoop Invitational where they picked up 2 wins. And I thought it was good that they got a lot of guys minutes. They had a lot of guys playing at crucial stretches throughout the game. And even though we're seeing some of their players that we're expecting more of there in the second half, one silver lining has been the play of a Kenny Ayenye. Isaac Barton has provided some very good defensive minutes off of the bench. And so I think the supporting cast is continuing to be more involved and do their job off the bench. You just want that starting lineup to do a little bit better in terms of production.
I think what we need to see out of Wheeler is more playing for that name on the front of the jersey. I'm not quite sure that's the case with them. And I think if they played more to that, they'd have a lot more success. Not really caring about who's doing what on the floor. Let's get the win. You know what I mean? And I don't think I see a lot of that from them. And hopefully they can turn it around in the second half because, like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, when we talked about this game, this may be the game for Wheeler to really set the stage for the rest of their season. And that first half sure didn't look like that.
And relatively speaking, given our assessment of Wheeler's first half here against a very good Greensboro Day team, they're still down 6 points. So we talk about that talent. They're still right there within striking distance. And I think for them, it has to be some sort of click moment to where at some point in the season, those guys are going to realize, and like you said, play for that name on the front of the jersey or some sort of point to where all of that talent meshes together. I'm not sure if that'll come today, but I think against an opponent like Greensboro Day, they're going to have an opportunity to do that. If not, then it's going to be an easy game to call because Greensboro Day will run away with it.
Yeah, I think Wheeler, they got the talent. We all know that. Once they start playing for each other and say, hey, let's just take a breather, take a step back. We know we can do this. We got the coaching. We got the talent. Let's just put it all together, get Darius Perry out there, shifting around, getting some people open. They did miss a lot of open shots. There were some open looks for Jordan Tucker, players like that. Once those start to drop, Wheeler should be okay.
So that will do it here for our halftime thoughts. Be sure to stick with us for the second half. Signing off, the Game Day crew will catch you here for predictions for the next game. Other than that, enjoy Joel Hilsman on the call. He'll be joined by DJ McDuffie, former Greensboro Day player, as well as current founder and CEO of Stat Row, one of our proud sponsors here at our Game Day Zone. We'll catch you back here after this one. Don't go anywhere. Second half, Wheeler versus Greensboro Day.
A lot has changed since we opened our first dealership back in 1971, especially the way we shop for cars.
Today, you can search, review, and price compare thousands of vehicles in a matter of minutes. And while the technology is great, we believe
Green and white trim, white numbers, and they also trimmed there. Quickly taking a look at the numbers, John Newman, 11 in the first half. He has a game high 11 for Greensboro Day, and then a team high for Wheeler is Kenny Ananye with 7. Joel Hilsman joined by DJ McDuffie, who's got all that Greensboro Day blood in him. I was talking about Coach Johnson. 40 years on the job this year, McDuffie.
Long time, man.
8 state titles and North Carolina record for high school victories. He's at 981 and trying to go get 982 against this Georgia squad. Tucker, Montgomery, Anini, Usher, and Perry, the 5 on the floor for the Wildcats. It is Dillard, Mormon, Smith, Solomon Smith, Jordan Perkins, and John Newman, the 5 on the floor for Greensboro Day, and a turnover from Wheeler. DJ, in that first half, what did you see from Greensboro Day? They kind of slow in that second quarter getting started, but what did you see from them?
They play extremely hard, man. Greensboro Day is a team that plays really hard on defense, and it showed in the first half.
Dillard, I like it, out of the guard spot. Nice bounce pass. The Perkins layup, good. Jordan Perkins with the hoop. Gives the dime drop off to Will Dillard. I was just about to praise him because this is where he does his work on the defensive end, but a nice look there.
Exactly.
Perry between the rings, left-hand dribble at his belt high. Runs their offense now, and there's the alley, and no oop, but he finished it. It's a catch and lay-in. Montgomery to Jordan Usher, first field goal of this second half for the Wheeler Wildcats. Mormon now hands it over to Perkins. I like the lefty lineup here of Greensboro Day. Puts me in the mind of the Pistons a couple of years ago. All the lefties. There's Dillard driving, knocked away. Perry's recovering out ahead. Here's E.J. Montgomery. He'll dunk it home with the left hand. E.J. Montgomery. Had Jordan Usher on that left, and Jordan pulled up. I thought Usher might have went down there and tried to boom it home with the right hand.
But that's what Willie has to do. They have to get the ball up the court quick to try to score quick.
Transition buckets were big for the Bengals in that first half, specifically in that second quarter to kind of get them off that snide because they went a long stretch without scoring. Dillard feeds it over. Perkins a 3, good. Jordan Perkins a 3, another dime drop by Will Dillard. 27-20.
Now at the basket.
And 1. The hoop and the horn. E.J. Montgomery. Let's see who the foul will be on.
Checking in for Greensboro, number 5, Pierce Landry.
Foul is going to be on Newman. That'll be his second, the team's first. And Pierce Landry steps in, and Pierce is a bomb thrower.
Whenever he's open, you have to get to him quick because he can shoot the 3 ball.
That's one thing I think that Wheeler may have found out, because as soon as he came in the game, they were closing out on him. He still was able to lift him one up. He lit fire under Durham Academy earlier this week by dropping 5 3 balls on him. Tucker, free throw, good on the N1. They originally gave it to E.J. Montgomery, but it goes to Jordan Tucker, who completes the 3-point play. He has 6 on the night. 4-point Greensboro Day lead. The Bengals working with Perkins. Perkins over to Pierce Landry. Skips it over to J.P. Mormon. Mormon now to Smith. Back to Landry. Catch, fire, a 3. It's on line, Bottoms.
3-point basket.
That's what we just talked about. They have to get out and cover him on 3 ball.
Have to, and came off that screen. Good ball movement. Unselfish ball play. It's 30-25 now. Turnover. Trying to get out in transition. Here's Mormon. Mormon now behind the back. Landry open. Gave it up on it. Now Perkins going to drive. Put it up with the left hand. No. Back tap. Rebound going to come out to Usher. Usher doesn't have numbers. He crossed the timeline with the right hand dribble. Now with the left and on that corner. Now going to try and drive all the way. Jump stop in the lane. Montgomery was filling the lane. Shot up. No, a foul on the shot. I thought it may have been an offensive foul. It's not. They're going to hit Solomon Smith with the foul. So Smith will pick up his first and the team's second. I like the overall resume, DJ, of what Greensboro Day has did, not only just, under Coach Johnson, but this year you look at the losses, 23-3, Hamilton Heights, Charlotte, Christian, and Newman Gordy, nothing to scoff at.
They play a really tough schedule this year, and they showed they are one of the premier teams in the country.
Currently ranked number 2 in the high school extra top 10. And playing at 3A NCIS AA Piedmont Conference. Free throw left short, no good from Jordan Montgomery. Excuse me, EJ Montgomery. Wheeler has so many Jordans, you get confused. Isaac Martin will check in. Kenny Ganini will take a seat. Perkins, Smith, Newman, Mormon, and Landry, the 5 on the floor for the Greensboro Day Bengals. Free throw, back iron, blew them both, no good. Rebound ripped down by Mormon. J.P. Mormon has been somewhat quiet first 2 points of the game because they came on an administrative technical. He has yet to score again. Perry up ahead now to Martin. Martin, right-hand dribble, going to try to work on Landry to the top. Usher, a 3. It's good, Jordan. Usher, a topside 3 ball.
If Usher starts hitting 3 balls, it's going to be a tough night for Greensboro Day.
It sure live. It sure live, because when he starts shooting threes and starts dropping them, they've got it back within 2. Greensboro Day has led the entire way, and Perkins navigates, kicks over Landry, a 3, air ball. Rebound, Montgomery outletting it now. Here's Tucker. Tucker, a long pass up ahead to Perry. Perry lost it on the way up. They tip, fight for it underneath, out of bounds. It was a beautiful look. He threaded the needle there, and Perry couldn't finish it. 6'8" and a sophomore, Michael Flower will be checking in, and then also coming back in is Will Dillard. Joel Hillsman joined by DJ McDuffie. DJ, the privilege of playing under Freddie Johnson, and overall, 40 years, you kind of got the fix of the program, but, what is it like to play under Coach Johnson and have so much success?
Coach Johnson demands that his teams play hard. As you can see tonight, Greensboro Day is outplaying Wheeler, and that's what Coach Johnson basketball is all about.
A turnover, up ahead, good, and a layup. In transition, another transition bucket. Newman now with 13. So every time Wheeler kind of gets it close within a bucket or 2, the Bengals roar back and push it back out. It's 4-point lead now with 3:40 to go. Driving, out of control, offensive foul. Jordan Tucker had no kind of control, just willy-nilly bulling a china shop, and an offensive foul. J.P. Mormon will check back in. Mormon quiet, DJ, as I mentioned, for the 6'5" senior going to Temple. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Only 2 points. He's kind of struggled in this game to kind of find his way a little bit.
I think the size of Wheeler is affecting JP. He's used to playing against smaller guys, and the size of Wheeler is really affecting his game tonight.
And Wheeler is somewhat long, and right there around his same size, he's having to deal with Jordan Tucker and Jordan Usher, both listed at 6'5" and 6'6". J.P. Mormon listed as 6'5" senior, but he's going to Temple. So evidently they like something, but I talked to Coach Johnson. They list him as a point forward. I like that. You don't see it listed often like that in high school basketball. But as I like to say, this isn't just high school basketball. This is elite level high school basketball on a national scale here at the 10th annual Peachtree Corners Invitational in Norcross, Georgia. Glad that you're with us here at SUVtv. It is game number 2. Game number 1 came down to the final seconds, and the boys from Winston-Salem Prep put North Carolina on the board with a 63-60 victory over Miller Grove. Breaking the press easy. Now Newman going to drive all the way left hand. Took the contact, the hoop, and the horn. John Newman and 1. Take that with you.
I think they called offensive
foul. No, that's some hogwash right there. Newman took that contact when he went up. He'll get hit with the foul. It'll be his third and the team's third. A terrible call by the referee. Awful. He took the contact, stayed with it. He's a lefty, and put that thing up off the window. Should have been an and 1. 32-28. Wheeler now in possession. Tucker over to Usher, and now Michael Fowler is going to get hit with a foul. And E.J. Montgomery didn't like it. Fowler hit with the foul. His first, team's 4th. So Landry will come in and Newman will go out. You must keep up with Coach Johnson. He will sub on you every 30, 35, 40 seconds so far. And Anye picked up the dribble, so he gives it over to Usher. Usher goes baseline. Fowler cut him off, shot knowing a foul. So quickly, 2 fouls there on Michael Fowler.
And that is Jordan Usher's game. He likes to drive the basket and try and score really close into the cup.
I think the one thing he's going to have to work on at the collegiate level, he's going to have to work on that left hand, though. He is too dominant with that right hand, and the scouting report knows it. I know if I was the other coach, it would be no way he'd go right on me. I force him left all day. But that is his weakness. Referees doing some janitorial work. Jordan Usher going to the free throw line. His first trip of the day. He has 5 points in the contest, all of them coming here in this third quarter. 3:08 to go. Usher, free throw, good.
Greensboro substitution number 2, Solomon Smith.
Wheeler's chipping away at the lead the Greensboro they had to have.
Again, they've gotten it as close as 2. It's at 3 right now. Greensboro Day led by 11 at the end of the first quarter and held Wheeler to a season-low 3 points. Now, poor shooting had a lot to do with that as well. Free throw, good. But poor shooting is also caused from defensive effort. Inbound, tried to beat the clock, now they get it into Mormon. Mormon running that point forward position, gonna come all the way down the lane, put it up with the right hand and score. That might get him going. J.P. Mormon with the field goal, his first field goal. And every time, we talked about it, Wheeler gets it down to a 1-possession game. A turnover, Wheeler.
That's that tough man-to-man defense by Greensboro Day.
Greensboro Day defensively, I'll remind you again, on the season only averaging 43.4 points defensively. Dillard trying to give a screen. Now here's Mormon. Mormon going to hand it off to Landry. Landry over now to Perkins. Perkins between the legs, kicks it over. There's Smith, a jumper. It is good. Solomon Smith, another lefty. You do not have to adjust your internet connection. Yes, there are that many lefties out there on the floor. Montgomery out of control, offensive foul. His third. Team second.
Number 23.
Austin Johnson will get ready to check back in. Coach Lipscomb has been quite quiet and subdued on the bench right now. You can tell he's not pleased. Perry now will check in at the guard spot. He has 3 fouls. Usher will go out. Austin Johnson will come in, and E.J. Montgomery will go out. 2:21 to go. And now Wheeler going to set up with some pressure in the backcourt.
Wheeler's trying to speed the game up so they get more possessions in the game.
Inbound to Perkins. They'll fall back, but he's picked up defensively by Isaac Martin, who's into the contest. Over to J.P. Morgan, who crosses the timeline. J.P. kicks it to the left. There's Smith again, short corner jumper. Good. Back-to-back, same spot. Back-to-back field goals, and they push the lead back out to 8 now, a 6-0 spurt. 2 minutes, third quarter. Darius Perry holding on the left wing, now going to put it on the floor. Drive, stop, shot was bothered. Great defense. You talked about the effort there. We saw it in the school's history. Came up short last year to Providence Day, but then beat them in the regular season. I know that had to feel good for them. Now they're going to put Tucker feeds the post to Smith. Back to the basket. Put it on the floor now is Newman. Newman crossing the lane. Perkins, catch, fire, 3. Kaboom. Annual Peachtree Corners Invitational. Perry around the screen. It wasn't there, so he hands it to Tucker. Tucker worked on by Mormon. Tucker going to try to drive. Take the bump. Foul line jumper. Hill of the rim. No good. Rebound Mormon. Outletting quickly to Perkins. Here come the Bengals back running in transition. It's a delayed secondary break. He gives it off to Newman. Skips it off, and then going to slow it all the way up. And in the corner. Pierce Landry. A 3. No. Hill of the rim. Rebound right back. Smith. Short free throw line jump. No good. Rebound hit the floor. Tip out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bengals. And I'm really pumped by this Greensboro Day bunch that y'all came down 85 with. I like it. You can't spot them there in the green. Greensboro Day. Back for the Bengals. Look, now in the Landry. Catch, fire, the other corner. No good. Tip, and it's Perry with 45. And also now we have to pay attention to the foul count. That's a 16 foul on Greensboro Day. They have no more to give. It'll be 1-1. O'Connell, the host, Norcross. the senior going to Louisville. Free throw. Good. He knocked in the first.
Checking in for Greensboro, number 1, Will Dillard.
Landry out, Dillard in for the Bengals. We'll set it to 5 on the floor. It'll be Usher, Tucker, Perry, Johnson, and Ananye for Wheeler. It is Dillard, Moorman, Perkins, Smith, and Newman, the 5 on the floor for Greensboro Day. Perry, free throw, hill of the rim, no good. Newman skips in and gets the rebound high. 35 seconds. Coach Johnson and his staff calls out the...
Guaranteed they're going to hold for one.
Moorman comes out and Tucker seconds. Goes behind the back. Moorman shovels it off to Smith. Lost it. Back to Perkins. Catch, fire, a 3. No. Rebound, put back up. No. There's a shot. Bounce back up. No. Couldn't get no Robert Ory type stuff right there, could you, J.P. Moorman? End of the third quarter. It is Greensboro Day 41. And it's Wheeler 31 right here, the SUVtv.com.
A lot has changed since we opened our first dealership back in 1971, especially the way we shop for cars.
Today, you can search, review, and price compare thousands of vehicles in a matter of minutes. And while the technology is great, we believe our team still makes the biggest difference.
We've been serving Metro Atlanta and treating customers like family for more than 45 years. To learn more about our 13 family-owned and operated dealerships, visit jimellis.com.
Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Hillsman back here live with DJ McDuffie as we are on the perch. Greensboro Day has a 41-31 lead as we begin the third quarter. Greensboro Day, the Bengals moving right to left, all in black with the green trim and white trim. Wheeler, all in white, white tops, white bottoms, and we've got a whistle and some extra time ran out the clock. Not sure what was going on. Line score right now so far, entering this third quarter, Greensboro Day 14-8 and 19. That third quarter was their highest scoring quarter of the game. And then for Wheeler, it's 3-13 and 13. So a pair of back-to-back 13-point third quarters for the Wheeler Wildcats. Wheeler still yet to have won a quarter. They won the second quarter. They got it to within 2 at 32-30. And then a 9-0 run made it 41-30, and then we added a free throw in there from Darius Perry as he split his 2, and that's where we are. 7:47, there was some adjustment made to the clock. Crossing the timeline with the left-hand dribble now, Will Dillard. Dillard with 2
nice
points in the
door.
game. Yeah, it was a beautiful cut. No good by Perkins. Put back up. Heart, hustle, and muscle underneath. John Newman. Now a turnover from Wheeler. And Wheeler, if they're not careful, they'll come busting away at splitting at the seams now. And they have been known to do that, playing to the level of competition and sometimes not always gelling together. And I think we saw a little bit of that right there. Perkins down to Moorman. Moorman puts it on the floor, although Greensboro Day has vastly been in control of this game from the beginning. They feed it on the back post. There's a cut. Perkins swings it over to Moorman. Moorman put it on the floor. It was cut off as he tried to drive on Tucker. Wasn't there. Moorman now back between the rings. Looks and spins it over now to Smith. Smith over. Dillard, catch, fire, a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound ripped out of the air by Jordan Usher.
Wheeler needs to make a run.
They do. The thing about it is so defensively sound is Greensboro not allowing Wheeler to get out and run. So Usher drives down the lane, forced it to the left, put it up with the right, no, and Dillard got the glass. Dillard rebounds very well out of the guard spot. Perkins back out, and Dillard holds it, lost his balance, but he was able to get it away to Perkins. A minute and a half gone by, fourth quarter. And now a timeout call by Coach Johnson. He didn't like the confusion that was going on there, 6:27 to go. I look for even more so Greensboro Day to slow this fourth quarter down if they can, DJ. Game high. And Jordan Usher now has 7 for Wheeler tied with Kenny Ganini, so nobody in double figures at the moment for the Wheeler Wildcats. 6 points from Jordan Tucker, 5 from E.J. Montgomery in what has been a very, 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 very low-scoring contest, and it started with cold shooting in that first quarter there for the Wheeler Wildcats. Wheeler, and they like to push it a little bit, 72.6 points per game, giving up 55, but defensively, and I've talked about it, 43.4 points defensively allowed for Greensboro Day, and they're right on that number now defensively as they've got 6.5 minutes to go, and Wheeler needs 12 points, and they've only had a high-scoring quarter of 13.
Looks like Wheeler's looking for a spark. They're looking for a player to step up and give them a spark to get the team going.
The 10th annual Peachtree Corners Invitational. Glad that you're with us, the SUVtv. Game number 2. I'm Joel Hillsman, joined by DJ McDuffie. Greensboro Day will be inbounding side out of bounds. Mormon flares it into the backcourt to Morgan. Perkins now works on it. Between the rings, gets the screen, and Nini is really frustrating him, but he spins it around, very patient. Now Newman gonna drive, put it up with the right hand, no. Rejected and out of bounds. E.J. Montgomery there will get credit for the block, and it will be Greensboro Day basketball for the Bengals, baseline out of bounds. Perkins will be the trigger man. Kicks it back to the top, and here is Solomon Smith. Smith, the 6'6" senior, played very well. A couple of pair of baseline short corner jumpers in that third quarter. 2 minutes gone by.
Just like we said, Greensboro Day is going to a delay game.
They've also got victories over Oldsmar Christian and Gray Collegiate Academy. Those happen at the Chick-fil-A Classic. So nothing really to scoff at in the manner of the schedule that Greensboro Day has played. Foul on Jordan Usher. And one thing you talk about Wheeler getting out, next foul, they're shooting free throws the rest of the day. It'll be the single bonus. But at that point, you have to be able to get to the free throw line points without the clock moving.
And that's what they'll need to get back into the game, because Greensboro Day is going to hold the ball out, only take a great shot. They want to take a good shot. It'll be a great shot for them to shoot it.
Norman over to Newman. Newman goes up on the other side, and a foul by Usher. And a technical foul has been called, and it's called on DJ Perry. That'll be Perry's 4th. He's going to get hit with a technical. And that may have fouled him out. Hold on, did he get the personal foul and the technical? If he got the personal foul, that would have been the 4th, and then the technical would have made it the 5th. And it is. Darius Perry has fouled out of the contest. Fouled out with 4 points. Not the day for Darius Perry. Wheeler with their 2nd technical foul of the day. The first one was of the administrative variety. Perry had 3 fouls, got called for his 4th on the personal, and then had the technical, which was his 5th, which fouled him out. So John Newman will go to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 shooting the technicals. No good.
Wheeler substitution number 30, Isaac Martin.
Like what Kenny Anye is doing, he just called his group of Wheeler Wildcats together. I've not seen that from this bunch this year. We're going to try and symbolize some form of order. So now J.P. Morgan will go to the free throw line. Mormon for his 2 shots on the foul.
The Wheeler team looks frustrated. They're usually, like you said, they usually score 70 points a game. They usually have more points at this time of the game, and they just look really frustrated out there.
Free throw is good. So they go 3 of 4 from the line and push the lead out to 15, and now they'll take the ball out at midcourt after the technical foul. Darius Perry has fouled out. He had 3 fouls, got called for a personal, which was his 4th, didn't like it, said something to the ref, picked up the 5th on a technical. Technical foul is a personal foul. And he's gone with 4 points. Here's Perkins. Perkins now to Dillard. Dillard lost it. Turnover. Picked up by E.J. Montgomery. Anyanye. Anyanye up to Usher. Usher going to go down the baseline. It wasn't there, and a foul called on Smith. Solomon Smith hit with the foul. Team 7th. 1-1 now. Oh, 5:09. We talked about Wheeler trying to speed the game up. They're going to have to slow it down by getting to the free throw line, but they're going to have to work hard on defense to create the turnovers.
necessarily have to score for the rest of the game. Slow the game down, gets fouled, and go to the line and knock them down with the clock stopped.
Usher, free throw is good. He's 3 of 3 on the day from the free throw line. He has 8 points. Usher takes his time, goes through his free throw routine, taking the game to Southern Cal. Free throw, good. Now, full court pressure from the Wheeler Wildcats. The Bengals trying to break it. They're still on the count. Newman's pass up ahead to Perkins. Perkins now going to drive all the way. Layup. It came off. Rebound battled for. And now a foul. I didn't see that one. A ghost foul coming in from the center official. And it's going to be called on John Newman. That's his 4th. Team's 8th. And Usher will be going back to the free throw line now. So Wheeler going to try to live at the line. Do you realize it was 32-30?
Exactly, it was. It was.
46-33, a 13-point lead for the Bengals of Greensboro Day. Out of Greensboro, North Carolina, the Wheeler Wildcats out of Marietta, Georgia, and the free throw no good. Leaving points at the line now. He's 4 of 5, but these are big.
You got to hit those if you want to get back into the game.
Cross-court pass. It was high. Perkins went up and got it. Here's Mormon. Mormon going to drive with the left-hand layup. Good. It was there. He took it in an easy layup for J.P. Mormon. 15-point advantage. Kick it. Here's down the baseline. Tried to dunk it home. No. And a foul call. And that will be on Jordan Usher. Offensive foul. If you notice, DJ, everything with Usher is with that right hand. You see that. I'm not picking on the young man. I told him that.
He drives with his right. He finishes with his right. Like you said earlier, he has to learn how to finish with that left hand.
And sometimes he'll start and go left. He going to come back right. 4:29 to go. And we're wiping up the wet spot. That's Usher's 3rd foul, by the way. And the team's 6th. Now they want the towel back. They want another towel. Mr. Ref didn't like that towel. This is the first year of this Norcross High School floor, brand new floor. If memory serves me correct, maybe the 2nd year, but I think it's the 1st year. Matter of fact, it is the 1st year. Because last year we weren't here due to the snowstorm, and we went over and played at St. Pius. Got some boys out of Pennsylvania that did really well. Landry is into the contest now. That might be for a momentum-killing 3-pointer.
Exactly. He's going to spot up in the corner and wait for the ball to.
Here's Spot. There he is. He had it. And they're going to kick it back out and work some of that clock. Halfway gone here in this 4th quarter.
Classic Greensboro Day and Coach Johnson.
3. Good.
3-point basket.
That was Pierce Landry for 3. His 3rd 3 of the contest. A lot of people say I have a Georgia bias. I watched 4 of their games this week. I know what Greensboro Day can do. Rebound comes down to Dillard. You're right. Leads me to another topic. It's going to be a little touchy for you, but I think we need to go ahead and see the shot clock in the high school game. We do.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
Fouls on number 4, Jordan Usher.
Usher picks up the foul, his 4th, team 7th. 1-and-1 time now. So both teams going to the free throw line on each fouls the remainder of the day. It's an 18-point Greensboro Day lead. And now we've got a whistle from this trail official. What's going on? Oh, okay. More moisture that we've got to clean up on the floor.
But you got to give it to Greensboro Day and Coach Johnson. They're playing by the rules of the game. They're going to hold the ball for the rest of the game and make sure they get the W.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I always say it's a little sensitive subject there, because there is some form of strategy in it. But when you get in showcase events sometimes, or elite level ball,
you need a shot clock.
Yeah, you need the clock. Free throw, good. Wheeler, who played in the tournament up in West Virginia, played with the shot clock. 30 seconds, which I think is plenty enough. 52-33. All of a sudden, do you realize it's a 20-3 run? Free throw, good. 21-3 run. And Moorman has stepped up and been big at the free throw line. He's 6 of 6 on the day. 10 points now, double figures. 3-ball rattled around and came out. Rebound to Perkins. Wheeler getting blowed away right now. 53-33 in Greensboro Day. Alley-oop, having some fun. Perkins to J.P. Moorman. Send it in, big fella. Coach Lipscomb just sitting down. I can't see his face, but I see his shoulders. That's enough. Body language speaks volumes. Tucker, a 3 out of the corner. No good. Rebound. Montgomery put it back up with a float. Couldn't buy a bucket. Blowing bunnies now. Dillard spinning away. Dillard with the left hand. Here comes Greensboro Day up to Newman. Newman lost it out of bounds. Coach Johnson wants him to ease it down right there. 2:48 to go. Jair Eastman and Austin Johnson will check in for Wheeler. E.J. Montgomery will take a seat. And who else will take a seat?
That might have been a nail in the coffin right there, the alley-oop at the last play.
Yeah, that was one of those things there. That, momentum killer. Pierce came in and popped the 3. That's always a momentum killer. And then you get the fast break in the alley-oop. It was 32-30. And Wheeler went through a long, long stretch in that first half where they didn't score. Only 3 points in that first quarter. And in the stretch again, Usher off the curl scores off the glass. First field goal in some time now for Wheeler with 2:25 to go. Perkins gonna kick it over now. They'll be easy with it now. Here's where they really will pull out the napkin and stick it in their shirt and munch on the clock. Moorman open down the lane. Layup with the right hand. No. Follow. No. Tip. Fight for it. Martin gonna come away with it. Long lead pass up to Eastman. Jair Eastman gonna come and put it up off the layup. No. Rebound by Perkins. And we've got a official timeout. Dillard 3 or 4 rows back. He stopped it. I mean, get up and get back in the game.
Checking in for Greensboro, number 5, Pierce Landry.
So now Wheeler, a little bit of the white flag going deep into the bench. Rakeem Donaldson will check in and Rodolfo Lewis will check in. 2:02 to go in a game that was 32-30. I'll keep repeating that for you. 23-5 since then. And now Coach Johnson will call a 30-second timeout with 1:53 to go. And right now, keep mentioning it. We mentioned it in the beginning. The defensive effort from Greensboro Day and 43.4 points a game they give up on average this year, and I think they're going to meet that here against the Wheeler Wildcats.
They may even hold under that today.
Jordan Perkins has played a fine game today. He has double figures with 12, taking his game right there up the street in Winston-Salem to North Carolina Central. J.P. Morgan, we talked about. Moorman taking the game to Temple. Dillard has showed his fine elite defensive ability and has rebounded very well out of the guard spot today. Pierce Landry has shown his shooting touch. He has 3 3-balls in this contest, and Solomon Smith played very well. 2 big short corner jumpers in that third when this run began. Landry now to Moorman. Moorman will spin it and kick it all the way back out, running around and play keep away. Last 100 seconds in what has been a molly-whopping by the Greensboro Day Bengals. Driving up, layup, Perkins, no. Foul late from the center official to be on Wheeler, and Perkins will go to the free throw line. It'll be called on Rakeem Donaldson, his first. Team's 8th. It will be 2 shots, though, coming up for Jordan Perkins. His first trip to the free throw line. The lefty sticks it up and in good. He has 13 on the night.
Greensboro substitution, number 21.
The host Norcross Blue Devils taking on the Bishop O'Connell Knights. That'll be next right here on SUVTV's coverage of the 10th annual Peachtree Corners Invitational. Free throw. Hill of the rim, no. Tip, out of bounds. So Greensboro Day, DJ, going to pick up their 24th victory, and then the fun starts. They've got Wesleyan Christian on the 24th. Just tell us about that rivalry.
That is a huge rival in the private school sector in North Carolina. Wesleyan and Greensboro Day each year fight for the championship, and I think this year will be the same.
Both of them sitting at the top of 3A. There's a bad pass and a turnover deep into the bench now. Here comes Greensboro Day. That's Jared Engel. Engel's shot is no good. Rebound, skip back out. Jair Eastman will take it away. 78 seconds now coming up on the final minute. Eastman, a young sophomore, stopped, tried to float it off. He gave it to Donaldson up, and he was fouled. So Donaldson will go to the free throw line. And then after that, you get into that region play. They've still got Forsyth Country Day left, 2 meetings with them, and then High Point Christian, 2 meetings for them to shape up for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough road to finish the season out, but I believe the early season tests that they've had with the tournaments playing a national schedule will help them out the rest of the way.
Reaching deep into the bench now. Here comes Adam Lovelace, the 6'3 junior. He will come in, also along with Tristan Perry, a 5'11 freshman. Donaldson's free throw, by the way, was good. The first one, so he gets his scratch in the book. He has one more coming. The lefty put it up, no good. I have not seen this many left-handers in a week on the basketball floor. Spartanburg Day is full of lefties. Greensboro Day is full of lefties. Couple lefties here. He stepped out of bounds. A turnover by Tristan Perry. Learning and teaching method right now in the final minute for the young freshman. Here's Jair Eastman, the young sophomore. So Wheeler now is going to suffer another loss. It will be a national loss, but still it will be a loss. They've lost to Vashon DeMatha and soon to be Greensboro Day nationally, and then in state in the region lost to Westlake and then lost to McEachern, who they could very well see later on. Greensboro Day going to try to cook these last 35 seconds. A foul there on Lewis at mid-floor. And the young freshman Tristan Perry will get to go to the free throw line. Lewis picked up his first, team's 9th. So Tristan Perry, the 5'11 freshman, the 1-and-1 opportunity. I always want to get a scratch when you get in. Reaching deeper now, 6' junior Adam Calhoun. A big body will check in and take the place of Michael Fowler. Fowler did not get as much burn in the second half as he did in the first, DJ.
They didn't really need him in the second half. Like you said, they won a 20-1 run and pretty much put the game away right there.
Free throw no good from Perry. Kick it on half minute of this contest. Is no good. 3, it's off, badly missed. He'll pick up his first, and now it'll be double bonus time now for Greensboro Day. 19 seconds to go in the contest. Reaching deeper is Robert Landry now, a 6'2 freshman, will check in. Non-shooting foul, but if they call foul, it should have been the 10th. Eastman going to come away with the steal in the final 12 seconds. Jair Eastman dumps it off. Pass was stolen away by Greensboro Day and the Bengals. Now Eastman reached in and tried to get the foul, trying to play aggressive. And the Greensboro Day bench feels it, and the Greensboro Day crowd kind of expected it. It was 32-30. I'll just remind you of that one more time. Maybe 2 more times, because our SUVtv scoreboard is working. So at the free throw line, Jared Engel, the 6' freshman. Back iron, no good. Young freshman gonna want to value these points and this experience right here. Bishop O'Connell sitting in one tunnel, Norcross sitting in another tunnel. Free throw, no good. Johnson gets the rebound. Eastman up ahead. They fired to Donaldson, a long 3. It's off, no good. Donaldson chased it down, but the damage has been done, and Greensboro Day has came down 85, and they have made a statement, and they turned the scoreboard off. Don't do that on them.
Greensboro Day was ready to play the game today.
56-36, a 20-point punishment inflicted by the Bengals of Greensboro Day over the Wheeler Wildcats. And the high man, J.P. Morgan, had 12 in the contest. Newman finished with 16 in the contest for Greensboro Day. And also, quickly, Jordan Perkins had 13 in the contest. So those were your high men for Greensboro Day. All right, coming up next is Bishop O'Connell, and it is Norcross right here, the SUVtv.com.
Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.